Okay, so today's number story is about a girl named Susie, and she is very, very, very obsessed with collecting coins because she likes to make lots and lots and lots of money from her spare change. So one day she decided that she's gonna go take all her spare change and put it into a machine to see how much she has in total. So she has 48 pennies, 175 dimes, and she has 92 nickels. The question is, how many coins does she have? Now, the first thing I'm going to ask myself is this an addition problem or is this a subtraction problem? And right away, we know that it has to be an addition problem because it's telling us all of the different amounts that she has, and then it asks us how many coins does she have. So nowhere in this problem do we see any of those coins getting taken away. The next thing we need to think about is, are we dealing with the value of these coins, or are we just counting how many coins there are in total? Just by looking at this problem, I know that we're counting all of the coins in total and not their values. I know that because the unit in this problem is coins. How many coins does she have? It doesn't ask us how much money does she have, and it doesn't ask us what are the values of those coins. It simply asks us how many coins does she have. So first I'm going to start out by adding these numbers, starting with the 100s and 10s place and leaving out the ones place for now. So my first number that I'm going to start with is 175, but I'm not going to use my ones place just yet. I'm doing this because I want to make these numbers friendly, and I really want to add with big jumps in numbers and then add my ones place. So first I'll start with 170 plus 90. I'm choosing 90 because it's the second biggest number, but I'm not going to use my ones place just yet. This is a really big jump. It's not really that easy to add by big numbers, so I'm going to try to break this 90 down into smaller numbers. I do that by going like this: 170 plus 30, and that gets me to my friendly number of 200. Then I'm going to add 200 plus 60, which gets me to 260. 60 and 30 is 90. So I've already added the 90 nickels as well as this 175 dimes. Next, I'm going to move on to my pennies. So as of right now, I'm at 260, and I'm going to add 40 to that because 40 is my number and I'm not using my ones place yet. Also, I could have done smaller jumps like 260 plus 20 plus another 20, but I already know that 60 and 40 is going to get me to 100, which means that 260 plus 40 is going to get me to 300. Now I can add up my ones. I know that 8 and 2 gets me to a friendly number of 10, plus this 5 is 15. So I'm going to add 300 plus 15, which gets me to 315. This tells me that in total she has 315 coins. I'm not done yet though, because this was just one strategy. And I always want to make sure I'm doing at least 2 strategies so that I can catch my mistakes. So the next way I'm going to add these numbers is by stacking. This is fairly new to our second graders, so I want to make sure that I'm labeling my hundreds place, my tens place, and my ones place. So I'll start with 175, my biggest number, then I'm going to move to 92, and then I'm going to move to 48. Down here will be my total, which is my answer. So we know right away that 8 plus 2 gets us to a friendly number of 10. And 10 plus 5 is 15. We always want to start in our ones place in case we can make tens, and then move on to our tens place in case we can make 100s, because those will carry over. So 8 and 2, like I said, is going to get me to 10, and 10 and 5 is going to get me to 15. I made another 10, so I have to carry that 10 over to my tens place. And I bring down my ones, and we had 5 ones here. Just by looking at my tens place, I know that 9 and 1 gets me to a friendly number of 10. We know that 10 and 7 gets us 17. And we know that 17 plus 4 gets us to 21. The number that it got us to, 21, is not actually the number 21. It's 210. So we have to carry this 2 over to our hundreds place. And we bring our 1 down. $200 plus 100, 2 plus 1 is 3. So that tells me that my total is 315. That's the answer I got in my first strategy, so I know that this must be the correct answer. If I'm going to do a number sentence to match my story, I'm going to do 48 plus 175 plus 92 equals blank. Because if we're trying to match the story, then we need to know that our total is unknown as of right now. These are our known numbers. We know that we're adding them to get to our total of something. If I were to write a number sentence that matches my work, I would do 175 plus 92 plus 48 equals 315. Because in my work, I got my answer. But in the story, the answer is unknown.